Good morning and welcome to the 445 Productive Through Joy show with your host and your boy, Dr. Michael Datcher. The show airs each weekday morning, hella early AF at 4:45 p.m. here on YouTube's Michael Datcher channel, then 4:45 p.m. on Facebook Live. Today we're talking about, this is part three of our four-part show on your conscience. How keeping your conscience clear is a great way to enhance and induce your productivity. I'm kind of smiling because I'm thinking about Donald Trump, who'll be on TV tonight, and there are people who are like him who don't really have a conscience. They are oftentimes caught narcissist folks who are only concerned about themselves. But that can't be who we are. We have to be. We don't have to be. We encourage people to be concerned about their conscience and to honor that and to follow it. So that's today's topic, because not only is that the right thing to do, it's healthy, it's good for your soul, but it's also a way to enhance your productivity in various levels, as we'll talk about in just a few moments. For those of you who are new, let me encourage you to hit that subscribe button, get all these, and have all these videos sent to you directly to be alerted on them, have access to them for free. I did say free, 1, 2, 3, 4, free. Holla at us. Also have me come out and speak to your group, school, organization about being productive through joy. We have an incredible, innovative, and powerful approach based around narrative, story. Everyone's life tells a story. Everyone's life has told a story of who they were in the past. Everyone's life is telling a story right now of who they are in this present historical moment. And everyone's life will eventually tell a story. And so we help people to think about what is their aspirational narrative they want to tell about, have their life tell about them. What do you want your life to say about you moving forward? So that's a brief summation of the philosophical approach that we take in this work. It's really powerful, innovative techniques around story. So thanks for being here. I should also say a few words about myself for those of you who are new to the show. This is your host and your boy, Dr. Michael Datcher. I'm the author of the New York Times bestseller, Raising Fences, which is a Today Show book of the month. Picked that book's film rights were optioned by the actor Will Smith, whose people called my people, and I eventually agreed to write the screenplay for that particular project. I'm also the author of the acclaimed historical novel Americus, which is set 13 miles from Ferguson, where Michael Brown, of course, was murdered in the conflagration which ensued there. God bless Michael Brown's family, his mother in particular. I'm also the board president of the World Stage, a great 501c3 nonprofit here in Los Angeles, really powerful organization. I'm also, my educational background is UC Berkeley. As an undergraduate, my master's is from UCLA, and my PhD in English literature is from the University of California at Riverside. I'm currently a professor of English lit at LMU here in Los Angeles. Listen, I'm an expert at being productive. I don't say that to brag or boast, but people are oftentimes surprised at my level of productivity, given how crazy my own narrative, personal narrative is. I am the product of a young girl who was raped at 16, gave birth to me at 17, and subsequently gave me up for adoption to a single divorcee. So at the time, no biological father, no adopted father. Listen, difficult times for the young MD, yet as Cool Modi famously said, you like me now. And if I can be this productive through joy, I know that many of us can similarly be productive through joy. And that is what propels this business, what excites us about doing this work, what makes it meaningful for us, that we may help people help themselves. So thanks for being here. So let's dive into the topic today, guys. We're talking about your conscience. This is part three of our four-part series, which began a couple of days ago. As we air each weekday morning, once again on right now, and then in the afternoon at 45 p.m. on Facebook Live. Getting my morning briefing. Don't need that right now. We're talking today, guys, about your conscience. So let's dive into the topic. Right, and so point one is that you want to know that everyone has a conscience. Everyone actually has one, right? That's at times we think of it as a still small voice which says, "You know this ain't right," or that says, "Way to go, you did the right thing here," or a feeling that we get, right? Now, some individuals, I would argue, like 45, for whatever reason, don't want to deal with their conscience, don't access their conscience, don't listen to it, or literally are so removed from the inner workings of themselves that they literally, I mean literally, don't have access to it. And people have, and that's the extreme example, folks, for a narcissist. There are many people who are that, who are narcissists. Narcissist. 45 is probably the most famous example that we have, and we see on the international stage every day, especially in Russia. um, but for all of us, we go out and in of levels of proximity to our conscious, meaning, we can do things that surprise us sometimes. We're like, I can't believe I did that, or we don't really listen to that conscience. And the point is that you have to really cultivate that relationship, because you may feel a right thing to do, but at times you will not do it because you're not tapped into enough of your guiding principle, which we're calling the conscience, in terms of it guiding your decisions and actions, which goes into point two. How do you stay in tune with your conscience? How do you have that relationship with your conscience? Well, you do it by, as we like to say, through the ancient Kemetic or ancient Egyptian technology and nomenclature. You want to know thyself. You want to know yourself. You want to be in communion with yourself, because, as the ancient Egyptians believe, God is everywhere, including inside of ourselves. And so the most direct way to access, although God is in the sky, right? God is the sky. God is the energy. God is love. God is in all those things. But because God is also inside of us, you want to cultivate a relationship with yourself, with your spirit. And when you cultivate that relationship, you begin to feel when things are right and feel when things are wrong and feel the way you should go. At times we think of that, or we call that, a gut feeling, which is tied to this. Instinct is intuition. Those are tied to the conscience. But your conscience is one level higher, because your conscience, as the ancient Egyptians talked about it, is with their weighing of words, uh, being able to determine, are they living in accordance with divine order, with spiritual principles, with spiritual laws, right? Your conscience is speaking to you about doing what you know is right, and when you violate that consistently, wow, it can be super dangerous, which goes right into point three. In contradistinction, though, when you follow your conscience, it elevates you. The ancient Egyptians talked about it, pictorially, visually, as, uh, your heart being light as a feather. And that's what that saying comes from. They would weigh the heart. On one side would be a stone, the other side would be would be a heart. The other part of the scale, in a two scale dynamic, would be a feather, right? The heart, or the ab, at times it's a picture of the heart or the gut, the feeling you have in your gut. It's what they call it, ab. But that would be on one side of the scale. The other side of the scale would be the feather, right? And so you want to be in the habit of keeping balance, so that your heart is as light as a feather. I know for me, when I have violated my conscience, it bothers me for days, at times years. I still recall things I've done, like, I can't believe I did that or didn't do that. And so you want to be able to speak on it, act on it, and be about what you know is the right thing to do. And that includes, in not just in terms of following your conscience, in terms of doing what's right, but also defending yourself, standing up for yourself, standing up for your kids. You want to standing up for those who are dispossessed. I know that right now, in Birmingham, um, the Birmingham Civil Rights Institute, for example, invited the amazing Dr. Angela Davis to come in and to honor her. And because of her stance on Palestine, uh, and seeking justice for folks who are Palestinians, uh, she was disinvited. It's really extraordinary. And she's from Birmingham. I mean, it's really sad. And so you want to know that, and you want to stand with Angela. She's an amazing freedom fighter. The Civil Rights Institute is supposed to be about folks who stand up for others. That's what she's done. It's tragedy, but that's wrong, right? So we need to let people know when they're being wrong. So anyway, so thanks for being here. That's all for today's show. Hit us up at productivethroughjoy.com. Until next week, till tomorrow, this afternoon, let's talk about it and be about it. Deuces.